All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session on Flutter things we'll do today. So today we're not doing any challenge or anything else. So we don't have an end goal to meet a certain criteria. But what I'm going to do today is I saw the Flutter Europe event that happened earlier this year, and there was this one really cool animated hamburger or drawer app that Marcin showed. So I highly encourage you guys to go take a look at this talk. It was very great. And in that sample, he has this really fancy drawer where when you tap on the menu item, instead of having the drawer open, the actual widget kind of slides off. And when you click it back on, the widget kind of comes back. So I looked at this, I really liked this. So I'm like, let me try to do that today. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. So again, welcome. We're gonna start with our code screen, and as usual, the code is running right now on the simulator. So I just went ahead and started so we can have. There you go. So we are running. So we'll start. So I will be doing some things that I'm experimenting today. So if you are in the chat, speak up, let me know. I love your feedback. See what I can do different on this guy today. So we have the app bar. And of course, technically I don't care about any of this stuff, so I can just say text hello. Yep. All right, this is good. So what I'm gonna do today is probably put everything in one place and then just kind of go from there. So let's start with the home page. We have a home page. Let's just give it some title. Flutter. We do want the scaffolding, so we'll keep that. Fancy drawer. And then we don't really care about this much. We'll just call this. This actually is our root page, right? So let me rename this to rename the right way. So just call it root page. Root page state, root page, yep, all good. Save it. Still run an ugly screen, that's fine. In the root page, don't really care about this. Now what I would like to do, so I'm gonna borrow some math from that sample to get the code going. So let's see what we can get. So first thing first, let's go ahead and build out some scaffolding around this. So let's start with the stack. And in the stack we have so the way it's done is there is a menu page or a drawer page, and then there's another page, whatever you want to call it, and then I'm gonna call them menu page and details page, and the detail page kind of just renders on top of the menu page, and when we click on it, the menu page gets out of the way so you can see the things and make changes, right? So we'll do that. So I do need 2 pages now, right? So let's go ahead and actually create those 2 pages right now. I'm gonna throw everything in one file, and then we'll clear it up later. So let's call it menu page, which is going to be a stateless for now. And this guy builds returns a list view. So this is going to be a list view of things. So let's just put something together really quick. Let's just say dashboard, profile, and log out. Let's just say we have 3 options on the left. Make them a little high. Padding edge. Okay, I think this should do good. Let's check it out. First page is our menu page. Save it, and there you go. We get a wow, a pretty ugly list. So let's fix this really quick. This guy heading. Let's try this. Let's change this back to. Okay, 5 is not bad. So I'm gonna take it. All right, so we have a list of things. And in here we have a stack. Let's give it a the menu page. Okay, so that's fine. We give it a little color. Now we got the first tile, which is a menu page. Now let's give it a details page. Details page. That makes sense. Details. Sure. Let's call it detail page. Extends. Keep it at stateless for now. Now the detail page. I think what I could do is I need a page for each of these, right? So for now, let's just return. I have I don't know if you can hear it, but I have Yanni playing in the back. It's Sunday morning. I like to work with Yanni's music more than anything else. Okay, so now I'm gonna create. Let's create pages for all 3. So create a dashboard page. profile page. Oh. So detail, so let's stop here for now. And here in the detail page, I'll just have a container that has some padding. And has a child text. Let's do the same thing to this one. Save it. So what I have so far, let's move this guy here. Okay, so what we have is we have a page for each of these. So now if I come down here and give it, let's just give it a dashboard page to see how it looks. Okay, so we see that the dashboard page is now on top of this, which is what we expect from that. So let's give these a color. Boom. Okay, so for my dashboard page, what I want my dashboard to actually have is scaffolding, so I can get the menu. So let's get the scaffold going. We have the app bar, which will just be the app bar. And we'll have the child, sorry, app bar will have the child title, yep. Which will be dashboard. And then we have body, which will be this guy. There you go. Now that we save it, we actually get a decent page. But this page, as we know, is now covering, let me get rid of this. This page is now covering the it's covering the drawer. Let me change this center. There you go. I like that better. Let's do the same thing to this, where we'll change this to just the center, get rid of this, get rid of this, and wrap it in a scaffold. And this is profile. Probably just give the widget a title and use that everywhere. So these two. Now what I want is I want to have a little icon in the leading in my app bar. Before the title, I want to have leading. I think menu will be good. Ah, nice. And then in here, I want this to be tappable, so I'll just use a gesture detector and call the child to be this. And what happens on tap? For now, let's just print something. Menu pressed or tapped. Save it, see what happens. There you go. Okay, cool. Now I want something to happen when we click on this, right? So let's do that. Actually, let's take a look at our main things really quick. Make some minor changes there. So go back to our main page. So many page is fine. For dashboard, let's transform it. Child is the dashboard. Let's do some transformation. Let's use matrix 4. Identity scale 7.5 and alignment can be center left. Okay, cool. So we see that the second child is now transformed. Make it even more smaller. Too small. Or actually 75. Let's just leave it at that for now. No, I won't. Yeah, just leave it. So this is fine, but we do need to kind of move it to the side. So we will say translate 100. Oh, it doesn't need that. 200. Yeah, it's not bad. You can say just translate that much. So now we have the drawer going. We have the edges going. And what I would like to do is to actually have it do that when I let's look at this. Still wired in, which is good. Let's go ahead and animate that. So we'll come up to our state. We'll use a mixin, single ticker mixin. Yep. And now this is, now let's work with state. So I'll bring a animation controller. Animation controller is animation controller. The vsync will be this, and the duration in milliseconds. Just say 250. Okay, so I think this is what we need there. Now we need to animate everything, so we will change this up. So we'll wrap this guy with animated builder instead of that, and say controller, animation is animation controller, and the child will be all this. Well, in this case we are building, right? So we'll just have a builder, takes in a context, then we need to return something. So let's go ahead and return the stack now. Okay, so this is fine. We have that going. So now what we need, animation is not true. Okay, we'll get to that. Let's rebuild it. All right. So now let's go ahead and animate this guy. So to animate, I need to slide over and I need to scale as we animate, right? So let's bring in two little things here. Bring in the style, and we'll say 200, which is what we said was going to be our slide. And then keep the animation, and then use scale to be whatever the full scale will be, animation value times this, and use these here. Alright, so now you see that because the animation value and I said the values there, it's still not doing anything, but now it's actually back to 1, right? The scale is 1, and then this value is still 0, so it's not caring about that, so it's taking up the whole screen. That's fine. Now let's go ahead and do the animation. So here, let's say show hide menu. It's dismissed. Oh, let's do it. It's dismissed. Then we will go ahead and play the animation. Otherwise, we will reverse it. Right, so now we need to call this guy for the animation to happen. So one way to do that, so just to test it out, what I'm going to do is let's put a flat button. I just need any icon. Is there a refresh? Okay, let's use that. On pressed, we will just say show hide menu. Save it. Oh damn it, this thing is up top. All right. So now let's see what happens. Okay, cool. So now we see that the animation is happening, right? So I can get rid of this guy. That was only for testing. So now let's go to the next step. The video, by the way, kind of just brings you up to here, and then you can do whatever you want. It's an excellent starting point. So now what we'll do is what we want to do is that in one of these the dashboard profile logout, when someone presses on these options, we want to load that widget there, right? So this is something I want to try, but I'll try it later. But for now, we have a dashboard menu, we have a profile. Let's add the same thing to this. We'll save it. So get that. We won't get to the profile, so that's fine. We'll get to that later. So now what I want to do is, one way for me to get this done is use a notification listener, where I can send a notification every time a child requests a menu, and then the parent, which is my root page, gets the request, listens to the notification, and does something. So that's one way to do it. Let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to use my own notifications. So I'm going to say menu pressed notification extends notification. Right now I'm not doing anything with it, so I can just leave it here. And what I can do is, see my little animation builder right on top, I can come here and say notification listener of menu press notification. Then I get two things, like say on notification method. This is my notification, and then I have the child. So we'll wrap the animation builder into that. So now what will happen is, when I press on, when notifications stand up the chain, the widget tree, it will get this and then do something on it. So let's go ahead and do this, that when the notification is sent, go ahead and show or hide menu and return true, so it won't go any further up because we're handling it. So now what I can do is I can go in my dashboard, and instead of doing this, right, I can say message notification dispatch target and save. So now when on my dashboard, when I click on my icon, I'm dispatching a notification called menu pressed, and my parent up here, the root, is listening to that, and on the request it does this. So let's check it out. There you go, perfect. So now if I click anywhere else, nothing happens, but if I press this again, notification goes back up and it works. Okay, fine. So let's make sure we do the same thing to our profile, and this is where I want to change things, but we'll get to that. So now both my profile page and this page will do that. So what about this, that once we are here and I select something down here, I want something to happen, right? So for that, what I could do is I can do the same thing here and wrap these in gesture, and then raise up a notification and tell my root that I've changed. So let's do that. Menu option selected, notification, and for this guy I actually want to have the option name. Right, what does that mean? That means, let's come down here and have a gesture detector on tap. I'm going to say menu option selected, and I have to pass in the option name. So let's just say dashboard. Dashboard dispatch. Just pass in the context. And then the child will be this guy. Okay. So now what will happen? When you tap on dashboard, it will raise a notification. Okay. I'm gonna do this for the other two. And the rest is okay. So now of course I have to listen for that and handle it. So here. So the top one is the menu, which cares about when the menu is requested. So I can do that under here. I can say notification listener for menu option selected. And you are the child, so go away on notification. Here's my notification. When I don't have anything to do with the variable, I usually leave it as underscore. Pick that up from Swift. But here, because I'm doing something, I want to do that. So now the notification I'm getting is actually that notification that I have my own custom. So I'm getting this option name. So now I know when something is selected, who's sending me that notification. So we can do something there. So let's go ahead and do that. We will say what? No IntelliSense. We'll just say caption name. We'll say case dashboard. Actually, let's do it this case profile. Wait, I do need to do something. So for me to first actually change profile, I need to have a method that can provide me a different child in here every time. So this is not what I want to do this. I'm gonna leave this guy here. Let's actually go up and build this. We'll call it get detail page, right? And then get detail page. What do we need? Need to let the page know to do something with the child. So I can either put a local property that holds what's selected or just pass it in. What makes more sense? So if I pass it in, probably don't need to hold that. Let's try that. If I ask for the page name, I can say page name case. If it's profile, then I want you to return profile page. If it's logout, I want you to do something, but for now let's just return a container. Nothing fancy. Get to that later. Now default, which will also be dashboard, just return the dashboard. Okay. Oh yeah, forgot about that guy. There you go. Alright, so this is just the switcher that will give us the widget that we need to show. So what does that mean? That also means no. Let's just create a selected page. We have a selected page that we'll use. Selected page will be dashboard to begin with, which most likely I should have like a login page instead, but once we set this up, we can change it. So based on selected page, we can do that. So now in my stack, instead of hard coding what page I get, I can say get details page. So now go back here. By default, I'm getting this. And as I'm changing these options, I'm getting the message, but nothing is happening. So now that we have something to kind of know what page we should be on, I can come up here and say want to hide the menu when I'm done. Here I can do set state, selected page will be this. So now I set the page where it needs to be, and then setting the state so it'll rebuild it, and then it'll hide the menu. Let's check it out. So we have the dashboard. Ah, perfect. Okay, so we got the profile. And then profile also has the tab gesture. So if you go to logout, it'll just be a container that doesn't have anything. Okay. Then technically there is a container here, but the container is transparent. There is no scaffolding, so we don't get that. So if you tap on this, which is still alive, it will just bring that page like this, because it does these two things, right? It sets the page, which renders it, and then it does this, which is crazy. That's why we don't want to leave the log out empty. But cool, this one looks so far so good. Okay. So now let's see what else we can do. Let's actually have another page. Login page. Right, login page it is. And let's look at our menu. When you say a logout, I'm going to pass in logout to you, and my thing will return the login page. So now if I come in here, go to logout, we get to login, yes. And then of course the idea will be that in the login page, you don't have that, which means once you log out, you are stuck until you actually log in. Oops, which kind of sucks because now it won't have that. So now what if I want to change from here? So let's try something here, why not? So I'm gonna go to my pens and let's grab this login page. This is what I built a couple of weeks ago. Homepage. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in here. I don't want all of that stuff. Oh man, I can't. This is hard for me to know where I was. Oh, cool. So this padding guy to here. Okay, let's see if we can plug that guy in. Okay. Don't care about focusing. This is the login method. Don't care about these two really. Don't care about this. All right. Okay. Not bad. Put it all here, and we get a little page. Wait, no worries. So what if? What if? We have some time. Let's go ahead and do that. My login page. Switch it out with that. And instead of giving it colors, let's just pick these three. Save it. Now it still has hide things. We can live without this. Controller focus also we can live without. Right. So now when you log in, I want to do something here. Get to that. Let's just save. Haha. Beautiful. Okay, this is good. Now we get a username, password, some sort of login, and then when I log in, I want to jump into my dashboard with the whole thing. So at that point, all I want to do is go up to my menu option, set the selected to that. Okay, so we'll come down here, we'll say menu option selected, dashboard, dispatch, this context. So I think this should do it. Let's check it. Okay, so this does it, but the trick is, the trick is that animation. So here, to show height, now what I want is when I'm saying hide, the animation is dismissed, which is true because it's not shown. So this is good if we are passing in that way, but if we are doing a direct replacement, then I can just do this. Yeah, let's try that. Login, login, login. Where is the dispatch? Oh, that's the top. Okay. Here. Wait. What am I doing? Oh yeah, that's true because login is a stateless widget. So I can directly set that. How can the pages talk to each other, right? Let's see. Now log in. Can I just do that? Navigator. Navigator of context. Dashboard. Wait. Okay. Let's check it. This does have material thing. It's gonna work like I think it would. Dashboard. I don't know. Let's check it out. So we log out. Yeah, it loses the menu because I'm switching my stack. And I can't replace it either, because once I replace it, my page goes away. So yeah, it's not what I want. Let's see. Let's do a quick hack. I don't want to do that though. Can put a little flag so we can say when we are going from login, then just don't do anything. Let's check it out. From login. Can I do that just to one of them? I can, yeah. Okay, so this should do it. So now I can come in here and say set the state, and if from login show hide menu. So now from the login page, here, option selected. From login. No. There you go. Okay, so now let's check it out. Let's rebuild this so we can go back to our page. I didn't realize this thing stopped. All right, that's good. Now I want to go ahead and change my default from selected page should always start from login page. In this case, it's actually log out, so that way it returns the login page. So if I rerun it, there you go. We are starting there. Now that we start here, we can say login. Okay, this is better. Oops, no, something else broke. Set state. Should be outside. Let's make sure that is the case. It's not from login then. What is going on here? Now when I set the page, it says this should be false. Let's take a look. So this is true. When it's true, you don't animate. And when it's true, you don't animate, but when it's not true, you should be able to hit this. Let's see. Do the show. Let's do this for all of them. Let's see what happens. Alright, so it does what it needs to do. But when I'm saying to check if it's from login is set to true, then don't animate. So if from login is false, then go ahead and animate, otherwise don't. I'm missing something here. By the way, it stops doing that because this will. Let's check it out. Profile. Let's do it. Today's goal is to hit 2 hours-ish. Now, if you're looking at the chat, the first message is not updated. It's telling us the wrong things. Ignore that. Alright, so it's false. Oh, that makes sense. This is false and I'm checking the output. That's why it doesn't care about animation. Okay. Makes sense. We'll say this guy will always be false. Let's check something really quick. Just making sure. What I okay. So, it's working like it should. When I debug it, I was running it, it was not doing that. That's interesting. So what changed? I had to explicitly tell it to be false. So now let's actually head over to dartpad.dev. Bunch of stuff here. What was that? Run app. Let's run that. Now I want to try something. What is the default? Some bool. There you go. Wow, too big. Okay. Some bool. So if some bool is true. True. Actually, let's just print it. Aha, that makes sense. So I thought the boolean is a non-nullable value, but it is. Good to know. I was assuming wrong that if I don't assign it, it will be false. So it's a good test. I usually run down to .pad and validate my things. Okay, now that makes sense. So now even though I told it that you are a boolean, I didn't give it a default. So now I'm giving it a default of false, and it's doing what I want it to do. Okay, cool. So if you log out, it jumps here, log back in, profile. It's all good. Progress. Let's speed this up just a tiny bit. It's too slow at that. All right, so what else do we want to do? Now we have an app. Let's do this default. All right, so now we have an app that has a dashboard. Then we have a couple of these, which is fine. Then we have a logout. The logout looks off, right? Because the logout has these fancy colors. So let's do that. What if we take these fancy colors and make them part of our page? So with one color it had transparency and you could see the stuff behind it. Interesting. So let's match it with our color. How about that? Where is our menu page? Again, we are not using animations in this one, so it's taken from the last pen, so we can get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. The rest is fine. Nope. Alright, so now if you log in, come here, you go to log out. I'm not a designer, so can't think of something cool right now, but I think this one looks okay. It's a little more in line with that whole header being that color, so let's leave it at that. Log out. Okay. Now with this, we're at a spot where it's a good place to kind of do. So this is what I'm gonna do. in the browser. Let's throw this thing up as a pen. Oh, come on, code pen. You can do better. No. Open this thing. There you go. Flutter pen. Okay. So we'll just park our code here for now, and then I'm going to go back and try to play with the default page. We have a dashboard, profile, dashboard, go to logout. Okay. So I think I can save it for now. Let's just call it fancy door. Save it. Okay. So back to here. Now we have some time, so I want to try something. I want to come down here. I don't want to have login page is different, so I can leave that. And I go, of course, in a normal app, you don't want everything to be in one page, but because I'm throwing it on CodePen, I have all these things here. It's kind of it's triggering my ADD. So what I don't want is this, that each page has a scaffolding and each page has to do this, right? Well, the only thing that's changing is the body. So let me try this. Let's say if I say I have one detail page, that for now let's just stateless STL detail page, right? I have a detail page, and then here it gets to return something here. So let's do this. Now what if I actually did get, I moved the selected page things away. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. So first let's bring in this scaffolding. So scaffolding is gonna have all these things that we want to keep, right? We have an app bar, then we have the body. All right, nothing should change on this side, which is fine. So what I want to do is my detail page, I want to pass in its child. So the scaffolding remains the same, but only the child is the one that gets updated. What's the right way to do this? Should I just pass in constructor and set it? So say STF D, oh come on, detail page. So now I have a detail page. And here I can move in some things. How about that? We'll say, for instance, this guy set the detail page. Let's just say content. And let's say detail page needs a content. And I can pass in profile, login, dashboard. Okay, let's see. The same. So if I get the content, I can come down here and say that the body is widget.content. All right, let's see. And I can say widget.content.title. I know we don't have it. We're gonna have it now. So let's start with dashboard. I don't want it to have state either, yeah. Detail page. Default, let's just leave it for now. So detail page. And then the dashboard page, instead of having all this, just return the body. Hold on. We'll have the detail page do the thing, so let's come down here. Get detail page. Here. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now we only have one single detail page that is hosting other widgets inside. What if I want to also change the title based on what the child is going to be? Passes in a widget. I can pass it in here, but in normal app, my passed in stuff like my detail page and these pages will probably have their own state. Right, so they will have something that they're doing locally. So let's see if we can do that. STF dashboard page, and make this state. Now that it has a state, I can give it a title. Dashboard page. My dashboard. Well, I don't want it to be passed into the dashboard page. No, I don't want you to do that. I want to set it up here. Alright, so now I have a title for this. And whatever goes in there, so now I can tell my detail page that this is going to be my widgets.content.title. That's interesting. Do the same thing to this one really quick. STF profile page, and we return just a little child. Right in here, this one has a title as well. Alright, so let's see if I can make it a base widget. Or should I call it? Yeah, sure, base page. Extends base page. If this is a stateful, it's gonna have a title. Let's see, STF base page. Title. Up. There you go. So base page takes in a title. Okay, let's see how this will work. Does it make sense to do this? Okay. Okay, I need to find a better way. It seems a lot of work to just to get to the title. Should I just pass it in from the menu? Should the page have its own title? If the page has its own title, they should be of type base page so I can get to the title. Actually, in that case, it doesn't need this. So if I make this a base page, we get the content. And then we can say content.title, because the base page has that. And make sure these two are taken on from base page. I'm doing something. Oh. All right. So now let's see what's going on here. We have a base page that does have a title. So I can come in here and say I can pass in my profile up there. Now I have a create state. Oh, does my base page not have that? Where's my base page? Go. Pass in the title to my base. Just override that with this. Let's give this a spin. Dashboard. Ah, excellent. So now we have a detail widget that has a child and the title being set by whatever page you're on, because they're following that base page thing, which is pretty cool. So what did we actually get ourselves? Let's rearrange some of these bits. Dashboard page, menu page, and let's go down here and say detail page. And then we have some stuff up here. So our root page still is orchestrating something. So the animation is done at the root page. Page selection is still at the root page because that's how the two things are communicating. And I think I want to leave it this way because I may want to do more things when they're switching pages or maybe with transitions and all. By default, I forgot to change this around. So when the app launches, I want to be at login by default. And then I can switch between the two based on these content. And this content is then all the other things that are going on gets pushed into my detail. And then my detail page, it's just a menu page. My detail page gets that content and then uses that content's title property to set the title bar, and then the actual content to be that, the widget to be the content of that. Then these are my pages that may have their own things going on. So they may have their own state. So now when the state changes, only the local state should be changed and handled internally, right? So you won't go all the way up the tree. So this is good. Okay. Right. So what else do we want to do? Let's see if we can make the so if we take another page, let's see how easy it is to add a new page. If I come in here and say I need a stateful dashboard profile settings, maybe it should have been settings page. Make it, give it a base page, settings page, extends base page, have your things there, settings page state, and then of course it needs a name, so we'll say settings page, settings. Now we can add it up here. So I like to work with containers, like dependency injection. One thing I've been playing around with a while ago was how can I actually use dependency injection in Flutter. So I played around with that quite a bit. Login page, okay. Gotta add that here. Settings page. Settings page, yep. So one thing I've done, or I've been playing around with, was MVVM on Flutter. So I can manage all my state as my view models and then use dependency injection to inject services and do all that kind of stuff, like I usually do on my Xamarin apps or my .NET stack. I ran into a little bit of, I felt like I was fighting the framework there. So I kind of took a break, but I want to revisit it. So it will be nice for me to register a page to the container and then automatically make it available in all the other places. But we'll work on that next some other time. So now we added a page. I think I think we're at a good spot now. Log out. All right, sounds a little okay. Give it a little bit of space. I think one last thing I want to do before closing is the icon. When I click on this, I want it to kind of change over. So let's go to Animator Icons, give it a controller. And so let's try that. We'll go to our details page. Here we have an icon. So let's change it to animated icon. And I think this one is called menu arrow. Well, we can play with these, that's not a problem. Oh, sorry, the wrong place. Progress, I have to give it a controller, which I don't have right now. So let's see. Take a look at this. Let's give it an animation controller. Animation controller will be animation controller. Just bring in the mixin. Single ticker, yep. Link with this guy and duration. Seconds. 100. Right. Cannot be null, so we just need to rerun this. Alright. We also need to run the animation, so let's do that. Above the overrides, so I know where my crazy stuff is. Toggle menu. And then when it's tapped, we will say toggle menu and then do the other stuff. Let's rerun and see what's going on here. Come on, do it, do it. All right, it's a little heavy, but login page. Oh, there you go. So the login page is not a base page because it's expecting all of them to be a state page. So what we'll do is this. STF. There you go. Login page. Base page. Oh, login page. Well, since not every page has a title, how about we go to base page and make this guy named or optional? Yeah, because if I don't have one, why pass in garbage data? I don't mind naming my parameters. Just don't mind having useless stuff in there. Okay. Let's see, a non-null string provided to text widget. Talking about this. Non-null string must be provided to text widget. Let's talk about this guy. Well. Don't want this now, do we? Don't want this at all. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, make some changes like this. So I do want to use my base page, but for my login I don't want to use my base page. I want to use, well, I can actually still use the base page, but Stateful widget. This is where we're going to change things. Base page. Go make this a required. So leave that alone so the pages will have it. But what we don't want is here. Right, this is what it's complaining about, that your detail page is going to be like you're passing in a login page which does not conform to base. So when you are passing me that, I cannot do anything about it. So see, yep, login page is not that. Okay, I'll fix that, but let me fix this animation really quick. This is my detail page. Animated icon. There you go. Wow, it's way too fast, isn't it? Right, so it gets animated. Need to fix it a little bit. I think it's a little too high for some reason. Why is it like all the way up there? Weird. Untap, toggle it, and then I know. Let's throw some padding around it. Okay, it's kind of weird. Let's now if I run this. Okay, so we see that the icon changes. That's fine. Now let's go back and fix the bigger problem of login page. So now we don't want our login page to actually have that scaffolding, right? So what can we do there? So if we go to details page, we are definitely putting all this in here. What if I have an idea? We'll leave this as dashboard, right? So the detail page will always be dashboard. And we will say that our selected page default is login or logout, sure. What we can do here is we can say if the selected page is logout, then login page otherwise this guy. There you go. No, this is fine. So now if we are by default in logout, don't use the detail page at all. Only after login, use it. It works just like we want. Okay, I think this is a good stopping point. me take a look at something really quick. Animated guy. Okay. All right, I think we are at a good stopping point. This is good. Settings. Okay. Yes. All right. So now let's take all of this, go into our browser, paste it, let it refresh. I think something is, there's a header or warning somewhere. Where is this coming from? Oh wow. Let's clear all this and do it again. There you go. Is it because the menu page had that spacer in it? Interesting. Oh, let's go back here and look for the spacer. It's apparently putting the spacer in the wrong place, so list view doesn't like that. Probably because it has an item extend property that determines how tall the item should be. So we can't just stick in a spacer there. Here. Menu page, where are you? This little guy. So if I remove it and save it, there you go. So now we have a login page. Takes us to our dashboard. Go to profile, go to settings. So it's interesting. I want to fix one little thing. Yep, so you see when the animation goes back, the back arrow stays there. We need to make sure that that animation is working. Let's go back to menu page, details page. here. So when we tap on it, the animation works. So when the page is coming back, we want the animation to still do something. So in this case, we will say that when the state gets set, let's try that. Let's fix this one last thing. Title. Set the state. Yep. So we want this more than just this. So what we want to do is that when the set is state on the detail page, we want this toggle to go back. So build. What if I do this? I don't know if it makes sense. Or if I go in here, okay, stop playing with that. Let's go and all right. Okay, so let's see, what are we doing here? We have the on tab that toggles the thing. Get the state. Okay, let me check something really quick. Detail set. I'm not even debugging. Good. Set the app bar deleting to padding. All right. Good. So we only change the content after that. Good. All right. All that is good. So now what I want to do is the tap works fine. When I'm tapping the icon, it knows when to toggle. But now when I change this, it doesn't know what happens there because it's changing that. So I need a way for my menu page or my root page to tell my detail page that it should change its thing, its icon. So let's do that. Give it a state. Let's do that. So selected page. This guy sets the page, runs its own animation, and let's do that. Okay, one way I'm gonna try to do that is go into my detail page and tell it is presented. It's presented. So in here, when I said that, it will do my page. Menu options selected. Okay. I'm thinking what's the right way or one way to do it. So if I give this page a presented flag, that means every time I change the state, it will go ahead and do this. It'll get called. But they're siblings, so I can't listen to notifications. of the tree. And here, if I come down here, detail page. Detail page gets the content, gets called. There's the controller. I don't know. I'll fix it later. I need to get to a stopping point, which I think is good for now. The code is sitting here in my code pen. And for now, we will stop here. There's the drawer. Okay, so for now, we'll just stop here. We will take it up next time. There you go. I don't know why some of these have a preview and others don't, but here's what it is. Thank you for joining. I'll play with this some more later and then see if I can find a better way of doing it. If you have any ideas, let me know in here or on Twitter, and then I can try some of that as well. For now, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.